stand up, because tomorrow, well, today it's Jamari. Tomorrow can be your kid or your grandchild.
That's right.
So get your ducks in a row. Forego your lunch a couple of days a week. Get your money together so you can go down to Atlanta and support this cause in October.
That's right.
With that, we're going to move into the business segment.
Yes, we are.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, indeed. A21 in the house.
That's
I've
right.
been waiting for all day.
Yes,
Real.
indeed. Because I like to tell folks, it is not what you have done, it's what are you going to do from here. This is Angela Taylor with the business segment. Now, on last week, I'd given you 2 books that I recommended that you read. That first book is a very easy read, but it'll definitely help you navigate through the folks who are adding value to your life and the folks who are not. And in order for you to go into business, I don't care if it's a home-based business or you're moving to a brick and mortar shop, you have got to get your front row people in order, and you've got to be able to identify them with some degree of clarity. So I hope that you all have read about the border bullies, those folks who are very close to you, who who are used to seeing you as you are, and who may not want to change. If you're trying to do something big in your life, if you're trying to do anything big in your life, you've got to be able to stand up to those folks. And that book also talks about the giants and the wasteland. There are some, whenever you're trying to do anything different and anything bigger than where you are, you're going to come into some problems. So you just have to be able to prepare yourself inside to be able to deal with those challenges that you know you're going to face, because you're about to make a change in your life. Wasteland. You're going to be going through periods where you're working really hard. I'm telling you, you are just sacrificing and working very, very hard to achieve that goal. And it doesn't seem like anything's happening. Don't look for overnight success, because overnight success does not happen overnight. You know, you see people who, all of a sudden jump to the forefront, know that they have had some years of preparation to bring them to that point. Because it's not the destination, folks. It is the journey that makes you the person who is going to achieve some success. Now, the second book that I had given you was the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Now, I asked you guys to read chapter 1. And that chapter 1 talks about the law of the lid. Because pretty much all of our lives, somebody, excuse me, has told us what we can do and what we can't do. Now, if you have a dream, now, and I'm not talking about that one where you put your head on the pillow and go to sleep. You have to be able to see yourself where you want to go. I often tell young ladies that I mentor today, don't dress for where you are, dress for where you want to go. But as it relates to the law of the lid, it's all too often we have that enemy inside ourselves, that inner me that tells us we can't do it, or that's too big for you, or how am I going to get this done? Now, a little story I like to interject that is in this particular chapter is about 2 brothers named Dick and Maurice. They were entrepreneurs. They originally lived in New York, but the opportunities were kind of stifling them back in the 30s and 40s. So they moved out to the West Coast, Hollywood, and all of that fun stuff, thinking that they were going to do something very big. Okay, they started a little theater business, but that didn't take off. That kind of folded. So they went into, because fast food, if you will, was just coming to the fore back then. So they decided to open a fast food shop they served hot dogs and French fries, that kind of thing, but they served them on plates with real silverware and all that kind of fun stuff. But they were making money. So they were making about, I think they said that they split maybe about $50,000 every year for a few years. And they wanted to go bigger. So they decided to change their menu to hamburgers, okay, hamburgers, fries, and something to drink, and to dispense with the what do you call it, the plates and the forks and that kind of thing, and use disposable cups. So their profits nearly doubled and even tripled over time. And then they thought about, well, hey, why don't I just franchise it? Okay, but when they started marketing for the franchise, they weren't very successful because the people that they wanted to, or people who came to them to want to buy their idea, said, hey, I'm going to call it McDonald's. And those two brothers said, well, what are you going to call it that for? Okay, so they wound up not being successful at franchising, but a year or two later, they met this gentleman by the name of Ray Kroc. Now, while Ray Kroc, he was a business owner as well. Now, keep in mind, Dick and Maurice McDonald, they were very good managers, but they were limited in their vision. They kind of put a cap on what they could do. Ray Kroc was a visionary, and as the story goes, he sacrificed a lot. I'm talking about his own personal money when he started bringing people on to McDonald's Corporation. He would even take bank loans and things like that to pay them their salary because that's where his vision had taken him. He said that we could do this. And you can just look around. McDonald's is in over 100 countries. And those 10 franchises that Maurice and his brother tried to sell, Ray Kroc has got maybe over 21,000 of those. So he had bought them out. This was early on. He had bought them out for $2.7 million. And he made sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice because he had a vision. He saw himself as to where he was going to be, not to where they are. I mean, where he was. So I'm saying all that to say is don't limit your potential. Don't limit your potential because in order to do big things, you're going to have to change your mindset. You're going to have to prepare yourself. You're going to have to read. You're going to have to learn how to be that Ray Kroc. And the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, I would just encourage you to read that chapter and marinate it on it for about 21 days. That's A21. 21 days. So you can kind of internalize that, break it down in your own mind's eye. Because again, every single solitary person out there who's got a set of ears listening to this broadcast has a seed of greatness planted inside of them. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to cultivate that seed. And this book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, Chapter 1, The Law of the Lid, is step 1 that will make you well on your way to do whatever big thing you want to do in your life. So with that, I'm going to turn the microphone back over to you, Phil.
But I want to bounce back to, so Ray Kroc wasn't the original owner.
Absolutely not.
I heard it was a movie about this story that you're telling us about the, establishing McDonald's.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that because it was always Ray Kroc. But I think what it was his marketing, like you said, was just totally different. And his vision, as far as franchising, was totally different.
Exactly.
We want to put this same thing all over, But I didn't know that. That's an interesting story.
Yeah, but the McDonald's brothers were very good managers, but they were not very good leaders. And I will tell anybody, if you're trying to get people to follow you into anything, you've got to demonstrate those qualities of a leader. Otherwise, you ain't doing nothing but taking a walk. And I say that particularly to people who are trying to build, with home-based businesses in network marketing. If you don't change your mindset, if you don't change yourself, if you don't make yourself a person that people want to be around, nobody's going to want to be around you. So you got to work on yourself. And like I said, you have to build your own self up. And oftentimes you got to be your own best friend, because when you're trying to make a change, and that's whether in your personal life or your professional life, people are not going to like it because they're not used to you being different. You got to be different.
Hot.
That's Mr. Montari.
Gotta call up. Hold on for a second. Heard it first right here on Focus Radio. Hello, Focus Radio. Hello?
Hello, this is Monteria Robinson.
Monteria Robinson, how you doing today?
Hello, Monteria. How are you?
Well, that's good stuff. This is Angela Taylor, and I'm sending arms around you from the state of Maryland.
Thank you so much. I received that.
Amen.
I need all the hugs I can get.
You got him. You got
Thank
him.
you.
Yep.
We were, just before you called, Ms. Robinson, we were just talking about A21 and just letting people know that it's not all about business. It's about changing that mindset. And also, that's what we're doing with Jamarian's case. You know, that's what we do here on Focus Radio. Want to say thank you for taking the time out, for even reaching back out to us in a timely fashion like you did, and letting us be part of, your support team and your movement. So we were talking about changing that mindset, and that's one thing that we're trying to do, to bring awareness, to let people, also letting people know that this is going on all around you, and it could be you. Like it was for, Miss Robinson and Mr. Harrison and, our other parents. So that's what we're doing, just, bringing awareness. We want to thank you. We want to introduce you to Focus Radio. And we're going to let Mrs. Angela Taylor finish up so you don't go anywhere, and you'll be on in about 2 minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. That's super good stuff. I don't even want to take a piece of her story because I think, too, that everything kind of ties in together. Because as I said before, it could be any one of us. It could be me. It could be Black Rose. It could be you tomorrow. But until we stand up and make folks accountable for their actions, nothing is going to change from us. So we've got to change our thinking. And we've got to be more proactive as opposed to being reactive.
Right. Yeah.
We have absolutely positively got to do that. And again, that is applicable to your personal, your professional, or even your business life. All of the stuff that we're sharing with you today through A21 is something that you can use in every aspect of your life. You've just got to make up your mind that you're going to do it. Because I often tell the children, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you are probably right as well. So,
Mrs. Taylor, you get powerful. I can't wait.
He act like this new from her.
Every Saturday is something different. That's why these people got to tune in. We're giving you these diamonds.
Yes.
We're giving you these diamonds on Focus Radio, so you got to tune in. And next we taking it to the streets.
Yes,
we're taking it to the schools. We're taking it to these events.
Yes.
We're taking it down there with Miss Robinson.
Yes.
With this whole that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Attitude and mind frame.
Attitude is everything.
And it got to be a routine.
Yes, indeed.
Turn it to your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Positive every day.
Make it a habit. Like on my Instagram that Black Rose was so kind to set up for me.
Oh, she set up. Can I get an I'm just playing.
I drop a nugget a day because it's the little things that make the big differences in your life. And I had visited my sister, who is, which she's not going to be around here much longer, and I had a very in-depth conversation with some family members, and